Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!
Hello friends, this is a bit of a rushed video that I hadn't planned on bringing out, but I've had a load of messages to try and cover some of this stuff. So Mrs. Nandi has very kindly allowed me a brief hour of editing in the midst of packing for our holiday. The new patch has just rolled out and I want to talk about the stuff that the data miners have found, namely the next 2 World Eaters characters as well as some initial information on the next Legendary Release Event for Kharn the Betrayer. I know how valuable the opportunity to prepare for Legendary Release Events is, so I'm bringing you this information as soon as I've got it. As always, Datamines are liable to change, so take this information with a pinch of salt. We'll start quickly with the 2 characters. Azkor is an Eightbound character. His traits are shown on screen at the top of the screen. His active causes him to taunt adjacent enemies for 1 turn and then take reduced ranged damage from enemies. At the start of his following turn, he deals eviscerating damage to enemies that are adjacent. As a reminder, eviscerating is the new damage type that does 50% piercing damage. His passive ability looks to give him a damage boost based on the number of times he has been attacked. If Azkor then kills an enemy, he then gives half of this damage boost as a damage aura to adjacent melee chaos allies. His movement speed is 3 and his melee attack also has the eviscerating damage type. Next up, Kharn. I absolutely love this guy and I like the initial feel of his abilities. His active Kill, Maim, Burn does 3 attacks as described on screen, preferring kills according to the Datamine text. His passive, the Betrayer, seems pretty flavorful. After attacking, he immediately attacks again, dealing eviscerating damage. The second part reads that if Kharn has killed an enemy this battle, then at the start of his turn he will move and automatically attack an enemy. However, if there is no nearby enemy, then he will instead attack his own allies, but these allies look to get a percentage damage reduction from this hit. We've also got the datamines for his Legendary Release Event. According to the patch notes, this will start on June 16th. On screen you can see the 3 tracks. Alpha is against Ultramarines and no Imperial units are allowed. Beta is against Tyranids and you can't bring Tyranids. Gamma is against Thousand Suns and you can't bring Thousand Suns units. The traits are also shown on screen along with their point totals. Feel free to pause here if you want, but I've also made a Google Sheet for you to use. The link is in the video description below. Feel free to make a copy and edit it based on your own unlocked characters. I'll also give Severin a shout out for maintaining the Tacticus Planner web app. It is also linked in the video description and has excellent, more advanced sorting abilities if you prefer something more involved than my no frills Google Sheet. The traits for this event seem a bit harder than previous events, and I would describe them as extremes of points. There are some very easy traits with 30 or so points, but others that are much harder and giving out around 100 points. This time there seems to be much less of a middle ground with 60 or 70 point traits. I've highlighted on screen the traits that I think will give people the most trouble, as well as some suggestions and recommendations for who to build. It's worth noting here that there are now 14 levels instead of 12 levels for the Legendary Release Event, if the datamines are to be believed. Okay, sorry for the rush, back to packing. I've left the Chief Dataminer's code on screen. Please enter it if you want to support him and all the stuff that he lets me bring to all of you. I have some things scheduled to go live when I'm on holiday, including an exclusive developer interview for the Machines of War, so stay tuned and subscribe to the channel. Bye for now.
Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!